Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
DeAndre Ayton is a big kid, not a lost cause. Not yet, anyway. In fact, Ayton might have taken a small step toward a return to grace yesterday, starring in Team Bahamas' blowout of Cuba. Yeah, he was playing undersized plumbers and construction workers. Yeah, it was the equivalent of an NFL preseason game, but tape don't lie, and there is Ayton putting the ball on the floor, attacking the rim, and throwing down a reverse dunk. Just like the video that emerged earlier this summer with Ayton showing off a remarkably good handle while playing a pickup game. Now, of course, I remain skeptical because Ayton has done a lot of talking over his first 5 years in the NBA, and he remains a chronic underachiever, seemingly confused by all the frustration he's caused. But this isn't about being right. This is about winning a championship, and the way I see it, we should all embrace the latest incarnation of Ayton to see if Frank Vogel can make a difference, to see how derelict Monty Williams might have been in completely washing his hands of the big fella, and to see if Ayton has truly looked in the mirror and recognized that potential only gets you so far in the NBA, and it only goes so far with your fan base. But if Ayton has seen the light, well, you can turn out the lights on the rest of the NBA.
Definitely lit. It's definitely something that you never thought would happen. And he's such a great player as well. And, just having the feel of his game before we both hit training camp and start fighting each other, to figure out some type of chemistry. I'm glad we're handling that early. Just us, trying to make some history now to make the Olympics is truly something special.
That's DeAndre Ayton talking about getting the opportunity to play with Eric Gordon, his son's teammate. Gordon is also on the Bahamas team.
His son's teammate? His son plays basketball already? Sorry, couldn't resist.
They win by 41 in their opener of that pre-qualifying tournament over Cuba. And you may have stumbled upon something there, a marketing opportunity. I don't know if the Suns would be in for it, but this can be the season of reincarnating.
Oh, man. I'm disappointed in myself for not seeing that when I wrote that.
Yeah, that's devastating.
Reincarnating. That's devastating.
That suggests that he was dead, but...
Well, right.
Metaphorically.
DeAndre Lazarus Ayton.
Like I say.
So again, listen. I think you have to weigh everything I said in the blast. You have to weigh quality of competition. You have to weigh the size of the defenders, and you have to weigh the fact that where DA gets into trouble is when he goes up against big, strong men in the NBA who start to physically impose their will on him. That makes him kind of drift the other way, and not attacking. He goes the other way. He drifts. He fades away from the rim. But again, as we talked about earlier, and you correctly pointed out, there seems to be a few different camps out there in regards to DeAndre Ayton. There are the critics, of which I am certainly one of them, and there are people who have washed their hands of him and shut the book. He's a bum. He's never going to be anything but a bum. And then there are people, I guess, who still defend him. Mm-hmm. Is that the third camp? Yeah. But again, it's not about being right. We all want the same thing. We want this championship more than anything. And I'm telling you, the DA piece, if Frank Vogel can reach him, if he really honestly has had that epiphany, who's going to touch this basketball team?
It's a great question. And let's rewind a little bit because we brought this up earlier in the show. Erase the Monty Williams factor. Mm-hmm. Whatever effect that had on DeAndre Ayton's confidence, his psyche, his drive. I'll say it, and I've said it since day one when the media day happened, and there was the admission. I haven't talked to DeAndre Ayton all summer. We haven't talked at all. I thought that was a really bad look for the head coach. That lingered throughout the season. We saw the frustration again bubble up in the playoffs. But you have to eliminate that as a potential factor. Also, and I'm not. Don't take this as me bad mouthing Monty Williams. I think that situation was mishandled. Also, Chris Paul is no longer here. Mm-hmm. We I enjoyed watching Chris Paul play basketball for the Phoenix Suns for 3 years. I got a new appreciation for what he brings to a team, to an organization in terms of leadership and teaching ability on the court. But the knock on Chris Paul is it wears you out.
Yeah.
After a while, it wears you out.
Right.
How much, with him being gone, how much did Chris Paul potentially wear out DeAndre Ayton? Those could be two very, very, sizable things off of DeAndre Ayton's shoulders this year going into it.
Well, yeah, I agree with that, but I also think that in terms of how you feel as a Suns fan, there are Suns fans who are firmly convinced that DA quit on the team in Game 6. There are people who say, look, I don't want to go there. It's a guy's injury, and you shouldn't question somebody's health status. Either way, DeAndre Ayton is going to have to prove this. The burden of proof is on his shoulders, not ours. He is going to have to prove this because,
I totally agree with that.
because I know for a fact that by the end of last year's playoffs, it was not just fans and media frustrated with him. That frustration had seeped into the basketball team all the way to Devin Booker. And so he's got to prove this to this crew too. And so what we saw in that video against Cuba, him putting the ball, attacking the rim, dribbling a little bit, it's a whoa moment, but it's not at all what this team requires from him. No. What this team requires from him is defense and rebounding.
But if he's got the ability to add that offensive game,
then fine. That's absolute yes. Then add that offensive game.
I mean, if you're hoping for DeAndre Ayton to be a 22 and 10, he had 22 and 10 last night. He's not going to average that this season on this team. He's just not.
No,
because there's still one basketball.
But then again, the points seem to come effortlessly to him, and he could do a lot of damage just rebounding. Let Bradley Beal and Devin Booker and KD take the preponderance of shots, go mop up their misses.
Eric Gordon, his new teammate, who's also a member of Team Bahamas, said this.
Yeah, he's going to be a threat, so we need to use him as much as possible. And when he's, when he gets double teamed and whatnot, that's when, you got guys like me who can space the floor and also give it to him whenever he needs to on the floor.
And he got this praise from Buddy Hield, a teammate on Team Bahamas from the Indiana Pacers.
Basketball comes easy, especially when you have the big fella. And his talent's unmatched. He's something you can't teach, something that every player wants to play with. He makes the game so easy for everybody around us. And, we're glad to see the big fellow here, contributing. He changed a lot for us,
Reincarnating.
I like it.
Print up the shirts.
I'm really bummed out I didn't think of that. Good job, Vinny. Reincarnating.